Yo, hey girl, it's LadyChann, nonetheless, and welcome to Cambox with Chann. Guys, it's a new one. It's another one. I need to. You're like, what colour hair has she got today? Isn't it? Sorry, it's just when you get hair stuck in the earring. I had the boiler man round doing the annual checkup. Wondering, should I just throw that in a pony? Because I can't wait to get my short hair back. It's coming back. Hey, I've got used to not liking hair. Do you guys, right, so do you like me? Stamina for sale t-shirt. Big up my crew. Massive van crew, you see me? Stamina for sale. Trying to get comfy is a hard thing when you're sitting a bit on a settee, half on and off, trying to get the lights so it looks well, but I'm facing away from natural light, so I'm a bit shadowy, I feel. But yeah, I'm going to introduce the co-host, the host of the co. But you know me, always have to kind of spruce. Love it. We ready? Good evening, John. What up, Jed? Let's give you guys a quick hail up, actually. What up, Jed Star? The Jed Star. You sure did, a Pims of Pims. You sure did. And I appreciate you doing so. Who else? Daniel Bois. Don't know if I said that. I'm sorry if I butchered your surname. But maybe write it phonetically for me so then I could pronounce it better. Yeah, I'm here, Jed. I'm here. John, good evening. For us, it's 4:53 in the afternoon. For you guys, wherever you are around the world, it clearly is the evening, and I appreciate you joining me. Before we get... Oh, top's going to fall apart. At the seams like yard did. Tut tut, Jakov. That is not good. Okay, so I will be introducing the fight plan. What's that, Lee?
Bang bang. It's been a minute. You been good?
Yeah, it sure has. I decided to do it without headphones and microphone and all of that today. I'll do that on the late night show. That's the late night look, isn't it? So guys, I'm gonna be definitely doing 2 shows a day, not a day, a week with this weekly wrap up and a LadyChann late night live as well show. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Just I thought that was me. Just keeping tuned to the community tab. I'm thinking that will probably be on Thursday. Right, let me just perk up because Leon's all nice and lit and I'm in the shadows. Sorry. It's the way how my house is. All the windows, should I say, they're 2 massive window doors. They're over there. So yeah. That's why in the night time, when we do the show, the lighting's important, and I've got them faced. I've got literally 2 lights on me now, but it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference. And I think also, 1 second, guys. Oh, okay. Choose this. I think my camera's a bit dirty as well. I think. Oh, there we are. That's better, isn't it? The camera lens was a bit dirty. That's what it was. That's what it was, Gil. All right. Lee, thanks for joining the I.
Always a pleasure, Chann. Always a pleasure.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. So, what are we here to talk about today on our weekly wrap-up? Weekly wrap-up show. I need to do an intro for the weekly wrap-up show, I think. Yeah, do you like my stamina for sale?
I do indeed.
It's nice, isn't it?
I want one in black.
Big up to Tunde, sending me a few bits, you know. So I'm wearing them. That looks better. Yeah, it does. Ronald Finkley. Ronald, thank you so much for the super chat. Massively appreciated. As you guys know, going to a good place. I'm getting a new laptop. Have to. Hey, Shell. You checking in. Hey, we're here. Actually, super sticker. Okie doke. So what we're going to talk about is, let's kickstart it off with Cash Felix and Denzel Williams.
Bentley.
I mean, sorry. I was thinking of Leon Williams. No, do you know what? I was thinking of my dad's called Denzel Williams. I'm Chanel Williams. My dad's Denzel Williams. Sorry. No, Dad, it weren't you boxing. That's weird. Every time because you don't really see the name Denzel a lot. So, yeah, every time I see the name, I just think of my dad. But, yeah, so Denzel Bentley. Yeah, Denzel Bentley and Cash Felix. Great fight for the 3 rounds that it was about. What was your take on it? Let me know. What was he saying? Do you want to talk about it? Yeah,
I enjoyed the fight. For as long as it lasted, I really enjoyed the fight. For some reason, I had Bentley with it, but with no real history of the 2 fighters. It was just going by press conferences.
You had Bentley going to win it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But just by the press conferences, I hadn't seen any of their previous fights.
Have you not seen Bentley fight in the bubble last year?
No.
He fought, I can't remember the geezer's name, and he drew him, and I think he fought him again and then beat him. Yeah. So I wasn't too... I kind of knew his capabilities, although he was British champ. How the other guy got a draw with him, and it was a deserved draw. It was just he shouldn't have allowed it to be a draw. So from then I was like, yeah, but somebody can knock your block off. But go on.
Yeah, he was just Cash was just too much for him. He was just laying many heavy blows. I was saying to you during the fight, I think I was WhatsApping you saying, I can see what Bentley's trying to do. He's trying to counter with the right hook. He was just like leaning with his left shoulder, but he just wasn't able to land it. And Cash was just hitting him at will, and he was hurting him as well. He rocked him in every round until he got stopped.
Rocked him.
So it was a conclusive victory from Cash.
It was a convincing win. Basically, my problem with it was he kept getting backed up on the ropes, and all right, from round 1 he got backed up on the ropes. He got a few punches to his face, and he's lucky because he's got a bit of nip to him. He's got a bit of swift to him, Bentley, that he managed to in the end get out. But I mean, he did get a few, like 2-3 punches in that flurry, and then I thought, oh no. Anyway, from what I was told that, and you could see that Felix had rehydrated to was nearly to 190. Can you believe that?
He got up to 190.
Nearly to 190. He was in like the 180, top of the 180s of rehydrate when he rehydrated. There should be like a clause, like they should put back the clauses in there. No rehydration clause, yeah, you know, like so they're not allowed to rehydrate to those massive levels. Because if you saw Bentley's a twig. He's tiny, like do you know his body? And he reminds me of his physique and even his face. Maybe not so much his face, but a little bit. Deontay Wilder.
I was just going to say that you can still have a slim build and have toughness.
Yeah.
And I just thought he would be tough enough to handle. Because yes, Cash was bigger. I just thought he'd be tough enough and he'll be slick enough and quick enough to to get the victory. But I was pretty convincingly wrong.
Yeah, he just wasn't, man. He just literally wasn't. Carry on anyway, because I'm just going to do a banner. Going with I want the bubbles. Shall we have our names as bubbles? Also, so all right. So he got rocked as we saw, round 1. He got the rock. What proceeded to happen in round 2? Round 2, I didn't have him winning any of the rounds.
No, he got hurt and he was on the back foot. Cash was dictating the pace. He was landing the cleaner, heavier, more effective punches. He was landing more of them. He was Bentley was being sent wherever Cash wanted him, and he was looking for that counter. He just wasn't able to connect with any consistency and any power. He wasn't throwing enough. He was just outclassed. I mean, it doesn't mean he's a bad boxer. Cash on the night was just way too much for him. Struggling to think where, as you said, his speed was quicker. But other than that, I can't think where he was better than Cash on the night.
He weren't. And the thing is, they're actually rivals as well. So that was the because did you ever hear about the sparring story?
No, fill me in.
So 3 years ago they sparred, and Bentley said that Cash was a dirty fighter, basically punching him behind the head, doing loads of really low blows and stuff like that. And then they got into a tussle, and then their teams had to jump into the ring in the sparring ring and pull them apart. And they've hated each other ever since. And so I don't know if you saw the press conferences and that, it's always a better fight when they really hate each other. And they hated each other. Even after the fight, when they did the little hug, you saw Bentley yeah, whatever, bruv. But he weren't really in it. But at the end of the day, the best man won. And then so when it got to round 3, I'm just trying to think, what did he do to drop him? What was the punch that dropped him?
It was stopped. It was just a salvo.
Oh yeah, it was a stoppage. Yeah, so it was backed up on the ropes yet again. He got punched in the back, but it was like 5, maybe 6 shots, no reply. Ref his head was back, forth, left, right. The ref,
and they were all like dazing punches, weren't they? You could see he was focusing every punch.
There was definitely concussive punches, and I think in round 1 and 2, but round 2 was a better round for him. But I think in round 1 he did get a little concussive punch there, when he got backed up with the ropes. But he could have shaken it off. But them concussive punches, you can feel that you're all right, and then something can. We've seen it with Joshua and all that, and then just no, you're a mess. It's not going to happen. Everything's off. So by the time it got to round 3, I wasn't expecting it. And then he was moaning at the ref. For the ref done an early stoppage. Mate, the ref stopped that, and I'm glad, because you want to see to fight another day. You didn't want to be you would have been on the floor. Straight up.
It was quickly growing into an uncompetitive bout, and
it was one-sided. It was getting truly one-sided.
If he was able to have got off 3 or 4 heavy counters to show that he had something to come back with, but what did he show in the whole fight to show that he could come back into?
He didn't have the power. He doesn't have enough power for Cash. He doesn't have enough power, and he just never got into the fight. To be honest, it was just it was all systems go for Cash Felix Cash. God, their names are so bloody confusing sometimes. Cash Felix Cash, ain't that a really unique name though? But anyway, so Felix Cash went on to snipe because he was Commonwealth champ, so he's now Commonwealth and British middleweight champ. And I didn't have a horse in the race, so I actually didn't mind who won. If I'm being honest, I didn't mind. who won. I'd love to have Bentley or Cash on my show, like to have a talk about that. So maybe I'll try and reach out and see if they respond, and we'll go from there. Like I should have done that already. To be fair, didn't really think about it.
It would be really good to know what Bentley's plans are for his next fight. What's his strategy? How's he going to come back?
Well, I saw an IFL interview with him yesterday, and he doesn't know, but he's only young. He's not, he's 26.
Plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah, he's 26, and Felix Cash is a bit older, 28. They're thinking Felix Cash, whether they say the next move is European title and try to go from there, which I think is going to be quite successful. But for Bentley, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough one. I don't know where do you go? Like, who does he get to fight? I'm not vastly knowing, like, who is he going to jump to be honest. Middleweight, they're 160s. Do you know what I mean? He needs to really do some strength and conditioning, because middleweight is very quite. It's where the power starts to enter into divisions. I think, like, a lot of concussive power starts to happen from middle and super middle. Not saying that you can't get concussed with the lower weights, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah,
because as you were saying, his build means he's got options. He can bulk up a bit, so whether that helps him to absorb some of the heavier blows that come through.
Yeah.
And whether he, and whether he can mitigate slowing down a bit. Right. Because he had the speed, but Benny was still able to tag him multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, can I just say, there's 11 of us on the chat, 12 of us now on the chat, and there's only one like. Can you smash the like button, please? Because it just helps everyone become more aware. Like, quickly, I'll pause and I'll wait to see if you lots press on that like button. Just have to come out, chat, press like, and come back in. It's simple. Yeah. So that was that. And then what else did we watch on that card? Because I kind of joined in late.
David Adelaide.
That's it. Watch that.
Big D.
That was a robbery.
Knocking man out, line them up, knock them down into the ring.
No, he didn't.
Well, he was up until then.
Oh. I was going to say, what fight did you watch? What's the geezer's name? Soloski. Soloski.
Yes, I'm not going to do a much better job at you than pronouncing his name.
I'm sure it's Soloski. I have a meeting, so we'll catch the replay. Yes, Shell. No worries, boo. No worries, King. Kang. Soloski. It's Soloski. Soloski. Yeah. He is a journeyman, but he didn't come just to be a journey. He actually fought. He actually won that fight. I would be making up noise. He won every round. Maybe David Adelaide won half of. I want to say what, because it was a 6 rounder, right? David Adelaide won half of maybe round 6, maybe. That was ridiculous. Why are they what? Because he's a journeyman, they're thinking he don't need. He can have another. He can have another L on his record.
Look, I didn't give. I think they were competitive rounds, but I think David Adelaide didn't win any. If I'm generous, I'm giving him one. But that's being generous. But my scoring, maybe it got biased. I didn't like what I was seeing. Not that I didn't like what I was seeing. I was just seeing somebody being outmaneuvered. Outfoxed. He was able to negate his power. He wasn't able to get that shots that he wanted, and I had to give Soloski credit for that. So I was just giving Soloski the rounds.
Soloski backed him up, took away all Adelaide's power. Adelaide didn't know what to do. But he's young, and he's only like, this is his, I think that was his 5th pro fight. but he's been banging everyone out, and it just reminds me of stop overhyping people like what you did with Dubois. This is what Queensberry likes to do. You like to push people too far, too quick. But not saying that Soloski, he's a journeyman. I think that's what the whole point of him is, to see where your fighter is. But it just shows that Adelaide's got a lot of he's got to go back to the drawing board. He's got to go back to the drawing board. Like, that guy was hitting him, and David Adelaide weren't liking it, and David Adelaide weren't landing anyway. Not much.
I don't know if it's so much go back to the drawing board. It might just be listen more to the coaches. Sometimes you can fall into the trap of falling in love with your power, and he wasn't listening to his instructions in the corner. The one instruction I heard, I think they was trying to tell him, you need to set the shot up, not just go for the one big shot.
He wants the knockout shot. That's what you kept trying to go for. But that shows that this is what I'm saying. What I'm noticing is that in these young fighters, especially the young heavyweights, they're starting to get this Deontay Wilder syndrome, where we've been banging people out with just our left hand or whatever, our right hand, and that's it. And because we've been getting gassed up by our peers or our stable, it's becoming like that's what they're reliant on. And it's not good, because I blatantly saw him only wanting to land his right. And you just can't fight like that, because if that geezer managed to do that to him, imagine 3 fights down the road. He's gonna be KO'd. He's gonna be on his ass, David Adelaide. I'd like to have him
real.
Well.
Being real, it was his 6th fight? Or 5th?
5th or 6th, yeah, one of them.
It was competitive. He wasn't completely outclassed or anything. He's got a controversial win. I think 10 fights down the line, not many people remember it, and he was able to learn the lesson and get the victory as well. So, hopefully this will be a little wake-up call, and he'll realise he needs to listen to his trainers, he needs to improve, he needs to keep learning, and as you get up in the levels, sometimes people can either take the power or they're quick enough to you to not land that power shot.
Right.
So you need other strings in your bow. You need
right. That was very... even though David Adelaide is British, yeah, I was so pissed off for Soloski. I was pissed off because that was just blatant robbery. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be allowed. Them judges should all be fined, a hefty fine. It was disgusting. It was apparent that he didn't win, and that's why he was even pissed off when he went to do the post-fight interview. He was like, "No, I'm not happy about it." No. But if that was me, I'll just be real and go, "Not happy about it. I didn't win." Those judges, I don't know what they saw, but I didn't win. And congrats to Soloski. I wish they should look at that and no contest that.
Well, what I will say is it's not Adelaide's fault what the judges score, and I do respect that I will respect if he follows through. If he said he'll rematch him again, all you can do is fight and say, "Let's run it back. I'll fight you again." If he does an immediate rematch and this time backs up his talk, because boxing's an unforgiving sport, and David had a lot to say, and it's been nice watching. So now we've got to back it up. So let's see what Frank does. Yeah. I don't see no reason not to make it. It was competitive, so it's to me it's an obvious fight to make, and it can be made relatively quickly as well.
Or maybe just throw him in with another journeyman. Or does it have to be?
If he wants to get his retribution, and I think this, the people that are watching his career closely will remember this. And, if he wants to wipe that, if he wants to get that mark off of his name, he needs to rematch him, and it's only fair. And there's a lot of demand for it. A lot of people are thinking that the decision was controversial. So I think I don't see any reason why Frank won't put it on.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I believe that if I believe if that fight happens again, I believe Adelaide would get the win because I think he'd be able to fix. But yeah, Pims has said it. Getting big up too much, yeah. So you lose like a sense of reality, and that's what was clear to see. I don't know, like guys, I'm going to invite someone that wants to come on the panel to share. I'll just put it in the link because this is what I said I will do. What I do with Fight Fan Figures, and if anybody wants to chime in, that is not a problem. Hi, Nick. ¿Cómo estás, mi cariño? ¿Todo bien? Estoy aquí. ¿Sí? Estoy aquí. Aquí estoy. Okay. Is that going in? Yeah. So, yeah, those fights, basically. These guys are chatting in the chat. Looking bad to him doesn't make me David right off or write David off. Is that supposed to be that way? Was it?
Yeah, like I said, it was still. I was saying it was a competitive fight. You know, it's
yeah.
And I think Jakov did say that the fighting Soloski within 10 bouts is impressive. Right, he's an experienced journeyman. I don't know enough about him. Jakov sounds like he knows a lot more.
It's not a bad thing, but it's just they shouldn't have robbed the geezer, journeyman or not. Don't rob him. Do you know what I mean? Don't rob the geezer. Give him the win. It might give him a more sense of fulfillment and think, you know what? Even though I'm a journeyman, maybe I can have a little go again. And do, just because you're a journeyman doesn't mean you don't want to win. You know?
Yeah.
What you guys say? Nick Garmer, that's great. These guys are having their they're having their words. What else happened in the week? This week. So, did you see any other fight off that card? Because I didn't watch any other card.
No, I joined on the.
These allergies are killing me now. You joined on
I can't remember the running order.
What other fight did you watch then? Tell us about that then, because I didn't watch any other fight except for Adelaide and Soloski and make sure you hit that goddamn like button. Okay. Jetstar, what's going on?
What's going on, my sis? What's going on, Leon?
Hey, you good?
Yeah, not bad.
What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about?
What have we talked about? The British fights on the weekend. That's what we've been.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the US ones, so.
Yeah, I've really got to catch up with them. But like I was talking in the chat, I think I haven't seen much of Felix CAHHN, but I think maybe him and Liam Williams could be a good domestic fight. That might be a good next. Liam Williams, the one that fought Andrade last.
Yeah. Had what Williams fight CAHHN.
Yeah.
I saw Eddie say it as well, and it's a step down for Williams. He just fought at world level.
He got beat. He lost though.
But he didn't get beat miserably though. So for him to go back down to domestic, Eddie said he'd love to do the fight, but I agree. I don't think he should step back down. Have another go at world.
Well, yeah, that's all I got really, because I don't know too many other British. Who else would be in the British middleweights that you think would be good domestic?
This is what I'm saying. I'm clueless. This is what I'm saying. Fight fans, who else? He could fight. Because Eubank Jr.'s fighting trash, so why don't fight Eubank Jr.?
Who Felix CAHHN and Eubank?
Felix CAHHN and Eubank would be a decent fight than the geezer that he's fighting on Saturday.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I think Eubank's a better fighter than Liam Williams. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think so if he could fight Eubank, he could fight Liam Williams. You know what I mean? I think Eubank.
Yeah. No, but I'd like Felix CAHHN to fight Eubanks.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready. I haven't seen enough of him, but I think Eubank would beat him up.
It'd be a good fight. Liam Williams and Chris Eubank, they hate each other, don't they? Anyway, ain't they got beef?
But sure, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've seen them have their little animosity. I'm sure they've had beef, but yeah, I've seen. But I like Liam Williams. Is like, you know, he's a go-getter. He didn't give up. But I didn't see any of the US cards. Did you?
No, I didn't see much of it live. It was a pretty quiet week in boxing, wasn't it? It was quite dead.
Yeah, just watch. It's just about more or less about news. To be honest. So the fight, the undisputed fight, can't even bother to talk about it, to be fair, until there's a date. Nothing changed there. People still saying on the other side that it's not happening next. Can't be bothered to keep on arguing with them. Been on panel, I've been from pillar to post.
Yeah.
Trying to tell them, and it's just...
They won't listen.
Move it. No, they won't. Oh, God, I just put ink on my chair. They won't listen. So...
They don't want to see that fight. They don't want to see it, no matter...
They don't want to see that fight. So, this is what I wanted to touch on. This is it. Because I didn't even get time to do my notes. I was supposed to, but I was too busy sorting bit. Anyway, Ryan Garcia dropping out. Like, Fight Fan Figures, you take the lead on this because you had some stuff that you wanted to say. And I will actually say my bits and pieces.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a bit about mental health in boxing. Because, and I have to put some perspective to this that I'm talking about from, as in the world of boxing, because it's not like every day. It's a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a world of smack talk, of lies, narratives, promotional images being pushed, promoters saying one thing to make their fighters look good, fighters saying something to make themselves look good, other fighters look bad. Mm-hmm. And I'm just concerned that if you look at Tyson Fury and how when he didn't have the rematch with Klitschko and there was the failed drugs test, how that seems to have been the narrative of that has now been he was going through mental health. Not he didn't take his rematch and he's a ped cheat. It's now he was going through mental health, and that's understandable. And people going through mental health should be supported. But is it now seen as some little magic fairy dust kind of you can sprinkle on and make excuses for not doing what you're supposed to do as a fighter? And are other boxers starting to capitalise on this? You know, and just claiming mental health just to excuse actions that are really indefensible.
Yeah, like you said, like if you go up to someone and you punch them in the face and they turn around and they chase you to get you back, and then all of a sudden you pick up a baby from a pram and hold the baby up, you can't get punched in the face anymore.
That's what it's like. It's like challenging them on whether they're actually using mental health as an excuse, or if they're lying about it. It's like hitting someone holding a baby. You know, they've got something that, you know, you're out of order for even making a suggestion. But when we're talking in the sport of boxing, with all the smack talk and stuff, I think it is a legitimate conversation that needs to be had.
Does.
You know, and if you're in a world where you're giving smack talk, you know, things have to be questioned. Where there's a lot of lies, people say a lot of things because they don't want to make fights or for whatever reason. These things have to be questioned and asked.
Yeah. I'm of similar mind frame of what you've just said. I would basically, it's a topic that a lot of people don't like to touch on because they feel like they're going to get slewed and stuff. Like, well, at the end of the day, with Ryan Garcia, the reason why I'm not going super easy on him, like, fair play, I don't know what's going on in Dude's head. I do know that he previously has always said that he suffered from depression. But I thought that exercising and, you know, the boxing training would help ease that off. But the fact that Ryan Garcia, not as only as quick as 3 days ago, was running up his mouth talking about Devin Haney needs to fight someone of worth and he needs to prove himself and build up his profile. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, in one foul swoop, I've got mental health. You was all right slating Devin Haney 3 days before your mental health declaration. So, in my opinion, I just think that the Campbell fight showed him that you're not that great. You're all right. You went on to win the fight. But I've got my own gripes with Luke Campbell. Gets there, always falls short. Always falls short. And he needs to reevaluate himself with that. He fell so short against Ryan Garcia. That's for him and his team to think about. But what Luke Campbell did do was rock and roll him onto that canvas. And for him to fight Fortuna, he knows that could be an L. I just think that he's got some big anxiety attack about it, and he just thought, I can't do it. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I think Leon might be onto something as well. You know, I think people, not just in boxing, in life, use the mental health. I think it's become like a card to play. You know, I mean, I know some people do suffer from it. I've seen it firsthand. But I think a lot of people also know how to manipulate it. And but when it comes to boxing, I mean, I don't want to sound cold, but it's not. We're just here to see fights. I mean, we're not interested in their personal life, you know. So if they can't fight the fights we want to see, then I don't know. They're not doing their job in the ring. That's all we can judge them on, you know. And we don't, like you said, we don't know Ryan Garcia, so we don't know what's going on in his head. He might be as happiest guy in the world, or he might be depressed. How we don't know. We don't know, you know. So
yeah, but look how he was cussing Devin Haney 2 days before that.
That's why it's a bad look. If you're talking smack, you need to get in the ring and fight, not say, in the head, I can't do it. That don't mean nothing. On the street, people are going to say, I don't care if you're sick in the head. You still got to fight.
It's the fight game.
Exactly.
That's what yeah. And it may sound like we're being cold, but honestly, when everything's been put into context, in my opinion, is like you said, you was talking a load of grease, mate. You was talking a load of fucking shit, yeah. And everybody that you decide to talk shit about, Tank Davis, Devin Haney, they're all actually going to do some big fights, bar you.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's right.
So why don't you shut your mouth, and stop trying to call people out, and you have no intentions of actually fighting anyone. And on top of it, you've got the audacity to say that you're retiring by the time you're 27, but now you're already just bowing out. Do you know what, Ryan Garcia? Get out for a minute, and we're not going to talk about you till you better. Hope if it is something gone wrong, hope you get better, mate. But stop talking smack about people and then pulling that card. Because right now, it's not going to be about the 4 kings. It's going to be about the 3. We just want to see fights. Like I said, man needs to stop holding up. These lot need to stop holding up divisions. And what belt is this belt for? And who, 135, they're beginning to annoy me.
Yeah, I agree. It's starting to get a bit annoying, this division. It's turned into a diva division already. It has. It's getting a bit like Crawford Spence at 47.
That's getting on my nerves.
But they're all so young. Are we going to have this for like 10 years?
Well, that's what's more frustrating about it, Leon, I think, you know.
We better not. I better not be here in 10 years on any type of show capacity talking about them still doing their rubbish. Otherwise, I've failed. Not only have they failed, I've failed. If I'm going to be on here talking about them 10 years from now, still not having a bloody fight. Do you know what I mean? And Spence and Crawford, they'll be out anyway. They'll be retired. So